Hi there, it's Brigit here from Silverfit, one of the Pilates instructors, and today we are going to do a session themed around joint health. Okay, so we're going to start off sitting down in a comfortable position. I'm on a block, okay, you might want to raise your hips on a cushion or a thick book, unless you're very limber. If you're very limber, you'll be fine on the floor. But we want to start off in a position that we can sit with a nice straight spine, okay? So straight, not stiff, straight. Okay, it's that thing like you imagine you're balancing a book on your head. So we're here, and then we're just going to roll the shoulders back a couple of times. Okay, and then just lightly press into your knees, and as you exhale, scoop those abdominals in. You're getting a mild stretch for your spine. We're kind of shortening the front spine, lengthening the back spine, and as you inhale, present the chest forwards. And now we are lengthening our front spine. This is your exhale. This is your inhale. We're going to add a little swirl. So we exhale and we're going to start the swirling. We're going to go 3 or 4 times in one direction. And then we'll swap the cross of our legs and we'll do 3 or 4 times in the other direction. Now, if your legs aren't crossed, if that's not comfortable, that's absolutely fine. You can have your feet flat on the floor. You don't want to feel like you're feeling any sort of untoward pain, no shooting pain or electrical pain. Okay, and then we're here. So we're sitting up nice and tall again. We're just going to get rid of the block, pop it to one side, and then we're onto our hands and knees. So we are on all fours, and we've got our wrists underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips, and we want to press the tops of our feet onto the mat. So we've got a nice purchase with the floor here. As you exhale, draw those abdominals in, scoop those abs in, arch the upper back, and then as you inhale, keep your pelvis in a neutral position but lengthen with the rest of your spine. So we want traction in the spine. Present your chest forwards if you can, and as you exhale, arching the back, press the feet in, watch out that your legs aren't wafting around. Inhale, pelvis in neutral, so not like that, okay, keep your pelvis in neutral. Lengthen the rest of the spine. We'll do one more. Arch the back. Now hold it here. Come up onto your fingertips. Tuck your toes under. Keep that tension in the top body and just reverse your backside back a little bit. Get a nice stretch for your spine there. And then walk your hands over towards the right hand side of the mat. So we're just going to get a slightly deeper stretch on the left side. And then walk your hands over to the other side. Be careful of your knees. If your knees are like hurting or you've got knobbly knees, you might need to kind of increase the padding underneath your knees. Okay, so come back to centre and we'll just sit back on our heels for a child's pose. Okay, so always listen to your body. Your body is, it's sending you messages the whole time. Respond accordingly. Lovely child's pose there. Okay, so we're going to come into the mermaid position. So this is the mermaid position, so we're here, so the legs are separated slightly, and we're going to place the hand down on the floor. Now, we can just stretch, so you might be fine just stretching like so, or if you want to have something a little bit stronger, we're going to come up for 4, we'll circle the arm around next time, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Okay, hold it here, lovely stretch here. Make sure your bum isn't going backwards, so present those hips forwards, use the leg muscles, use the core muscles, and now we're going to bring the fingertips up towards the ceiling. So you're pulling yourself up and we're going to thread the needle. For 3, 2, and 1, And we're going to do another one for luck because we did 4 of those other things. And a final one. And then release. Good. Sit back on your back sit bones. Over to the other side. Actually, if you want to, shake the legs out. Okay, and we're here on the other side. So you're placing your hand down, and then we'll just start to, you can just feel a stretch, and you might feel that this is enough for you because if your wrists are hurting or something like that, you know, lifting up might not be the best thing for you, okay? But if you're all right with the lift off, inhale, exhale, float up. Try not to kind of fling yourself up. And then come back down. Nice stretch on the side body. Really good stretch on the side body. This is 2. We're going to now circle the arm round. 3. And 4. Good. Just enjoy that nice side stretch there. Again, watch your bum isn't popping out. Draw those abdominals in. You can rearrange your feet or your hands if you need to. And then your fingertips come up towards the ceiling, and we're going to thread the needle. We're going to do 4. Unravel. 3. Exhale as you thread the needle. Inhale as you open out. Getting that nice expansion. 2. And 1. And then release. Good, we're sitting back, the legs come forwards, we're going to shake the legs out, and I'm going to get my block back again for the next one. Okay, we're going to do an exercise called the saw. Okay, so we want to be in a position where we can get a nice straight spine, okay? The spine alignment is the priority. So if your legs are straight, but you're really hunching and slouching, that's not it. So you would either need to raise your hips or bend your knees, or maybe a little bit of both, okay? So we want to find our sort of baseline position where we can have a nice straight spine. Okay, now we're here, so we've got our legs nice and wide, and we're going to place our fingers in that gap between the top of the thigh and the hips, okay? So there's sort of 2 bony bits here. We've got the top of the thighs, we've got the hips, and we want to just feel a gap. Okay, and as you come forwards, try and maintain that gap, and then sit back up again. So what we don't want here is sort of bone on bone. We want to get this energy where we're sort of lifting up and then going over, okay, and we're going to reference that. We don't want the sort of the crunching of the bones together. So our arms come forwards, remember that, okay, and we inhale, and as we exhale, reach forwards, flex your feet, keep that gap, heighten space, and then sit up. And we'll do that again. And inhale and sit up. We're just going to circle the arms for 3, 2. We've got a straight spine now, and 1. And then we're going to change direction for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, keep your fingertips behind you. And now we're going to straighten out. We're going to lengthen the front spine, so we're getting a bit of a back extension here. Be careful not to fling your head back, okay, so just keep a slight tuck of the chin. You don't need a massive double chin, just keep a little bit of a tuck of the chin. Try not to tip your head back, it can be a bit much for the neck. Shake out the legs if you need to. Now if you've got really tight hip flexors, just release them out, okay, before we go into the next one. And again, remember that space, okay, that space here. We're going to reach towards the opposite foot. This is our exhale. This is our inhale. So really get that expansion. Exhale, inhale. So we're really kind of improving our lung capacity here. And our mobility. I'm going to do one more each side. Okay, and just swirl and whirl the arms. Place your fingertips behind you, and then we're going to stretch out the front spine again. Okay, now if you want to go a little bit further, we're going to plant the hands down, okay, and then you're just going to see if you can press yourself up. Use your bum muscles and release. Okay, so again, as always, only go as far as you can go. You don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to underdo it either, so you just find that sort of happy medium where we're challenging ourselves. Okay, so we are on our sides, the side leg circles. Okay, so with this one, we're getting a nice circling action at the hip, which means we're getting a full coverage of synovial fluid around the hip. Okay, so it's an anti-arthritis exercise because we're oiling our joints, basically, full coverage. Now with this one, we're going to lift the leg. Okay, so we're lifting the top leg. Now just be careful that's not happened. Okay, we don't want the knee lower than the foot. We want a torque in the hip. Okay, we'll feel those abdominals starting to kick in, we'll feel the glutes starting to kick in, we've got our structure in place to support us. This leg, press it down, zip up, okay, we're here. And now we're going to circle. I'm putting my hand on my bum because I want to check that the muscles are working. 2, 3, and 4, and change direction for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now straighten your leg and we're changing direction again for 1, 2, 3, 4, change direction again with a straight leg, 4, 3, make sure your bum muscles are working, 2, and 1. Okay, hold it there. Now you want to keep your spine nice and straight, but you're just going to extend that top leg. Now everyone's extension or range of movement is slightly different. So, you know, if my leg goes too far back and I'm flipping and pivoting through my trunk, that's the wrong position. We want to have the trunk nice and straight. So we're using the bum muscle here, okay? And we're not popping the ribs and we're keeping the abs on. And then you're going to tap down for 4, 3, 2, we want to feel the glute meads, and 1, okay? And now we're going to pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold it, lengthen into the toes, zip up. Make sure your tailbone is shooting down towards the bottom of the mat. We don't want to overarch the lumbar. Okay, so keep your lower back nice and safe. Keep your corset on. Release. Okay, shake it out. So your core is like a cylinder in the trunk, yeah? It's not just the sort of bit behind your six-pack muscles. Okay, and we're over to the other side. Our anti-arthritis move on the other side. So we start off, we just get our setup. So that cylinder through the trunk, okay? We're doing those, we're zipping those abdominals up. We're keeping the ribs knitted. You've got a straight spine, maybe a slight neutral curve there, but not a big gap, okay? And then as you exhale, we're lifting the top leg. And we're pressing the bottom leg into the mat. We want to get a purchase there. Again, watch out for that. We don't want a floppy dead weight. We want to keep the leg active. So the butt's on, we're drawing those abdominals in and up. And imagine you've got charcoal on your kneecap. We're circling, drawing circles in space. 2, 3, and 4. Change direction for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to straighten the leg, change direction again for 1, 2, 3, 4, change direction again for 4, 3, are those bum muscles working, 2, and 1, hold it there. Okay, so we want to get that, keep that straight line in the trunk, and we're just going to bring that top leg into what's called an extension position, where it's kind of, it might not be behind the body, but you're sort of working the rear muscles, if you like. Okay, some people can get their leg really behind without compromising their trunk posture. Okay, but keep your trunk nice and locked down. And we're going to tap down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold it there. So watch your foot isn't sickling, we don't want the foot sort of flopping, keep it in a straight line. Energy all the way to the big toe as you draw those abdominals in. It's like the back suspender belts being done up. And release. Woo. Okay, lovely. We're going to roll onto our backs and we're going to cross our right leg, or whichever leg you work first, okay, you're going to cross that over the other leg. So we're in the number 4 position, okay, our classic number 4 position. And from here, you can have your arms, if you want to, you can have your arms sort of floating behind you. If you need a little bit more support, have them down by your side. Be careful not to hold tension in the shoulders. And from here, we're just going to take a little kind of twist. And when you're twisting, just be mindful that you're not kind of wrenching, twisting. You want to keep a little bit of support. Sometimes it's quite nice actually to have your hands around the belly so you can check in that the muscles are doing a little bit of work here. So we're working this actively, we're not sort of flopping from one side to the other. It's a nice hip opener. Okay, hold it back to centre, just cradle behind your other thigh and just give yourself a squeeze. Watch out for your neck, okay, we don't want to scrunch the neck. And then release and shake it out, swap it over. Okay, and I'm going to keep my hands on my belly because I sort of like this, it just feels like I can check in with the work. You notice probably one side is stronger than the other. You might have a sort of very mobile side, but it's not necessarily strong, okay? And then come back to centre. Just cradle behind your thigh, and again just be mindful when you're try not to grapple, okay, so try not to do that. If you find that this stretch is making you sort of go into your back of your neck and your head tip back, just peel your head, neck and shoulders off the floor and then release. Shake out the leg. We're going to have our head in our hands and we're just going to, as we exhale, we want to keep our spine in the neutral position, so just the tiniest curve here. And as we exhale, we're going to just lengthen the spine, lengthen the spine, and lengthen the spine. And we start to peel up. Okay, now you want to feel it all the way up the spinal line. Okay, we don't want to do this. Okay, we don't want to go scrunch because that's all neck jar and no abdominal workout. So we want this elegant movement that all the right muscle groups are working. So inhale, as you exhale, lengthen, a little bit of traction in the neck. You can use your hands just to kind of give this slight traction on the neck, little assist, and then curl up. Okay, see if you can get the tips of your shoulder blades onto the floor, really using those abdominals, and then come back. So just for fun, we're going to let the knees tilt over to one side. Okay, and we're just going to draw those abdominals in, and we're going to curl up. So you're going to feel, I can really feel this on the obliques, and then release, and we'll do another one. And then the knees go over to the other side. Make sure that this isn't happening. We don't want a big arch here. We want to secure it. Okay, keep it nice and secure. If you need to, place something here to stop your legs flopping. Okay, so we're going to curl up. We want to feel the oblique side abdominal. My goodness, I can really feel that. And then we'll do one more of those. Okay, and then release. Tuck your knees into your chest, and we're just going to circle the knees a couple of times in one direction, a couple of times in the other direction, and then release the feet to the floor nice and wide. Arms are either behind you or as breaks, and then we're just going to let the knees float over to one side. Now, if your back is in good shape, you can let go a little bit, okay? If it's not in such good shape, you're going to have to engage a bit more, but you'll have to go by feel, okay? You don't want to feel like you're sort of pulling yourself around. And then the knees go over to the other side. Keep an engagement if you need to. Let go if you don't. So everyone's different, you just got to kind of call it accordingly. Okay, and then come back. and we're just going to heel toe the feet and the legs together now. So the legs are actually, two legs become one. Okay, so squeeze the legs together, spine is back in neutral, and the arms are coming up here like so. Now, when we lift the arms, what often happens is that the shoulders kind of hoik up. So we want to keep the shoulders back on the floor, so the shoulder heads sort of drop into their sockets. And then as we inhale, we're opening, and as we exhale, we close. So great hip opener, great for the hip joints. We're going to do one more like that. We're going to open and we're going to hold it, and we're going to place our head in our hands again, but the knees are wide. Now maybe I need to shuffle my heels closer to me. Okay, and we're going to curl up from here. So we're going to inhale, and as you exhale, lengthen, 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 lengthen. That length kind of becomes lift. And then as you release, keep the length so we're not dropping out of it. Keep some control. Inhale as you release. Exhale, curl up. So we're lengthening, and we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release. Let's take a full body stretch. And let's bring the feet into this position. So we've got the feet are on the floor, and we've got our hips and our knees and our feet all in line. Okay, so we don't want this. Sometimes we've got to have a quick check, because we think our feet and knees and hips are lined up, and they're totally not. Okay, so if your inner eye isn't quite working, just actually look and see what's happening there. So we've got our arms down by our sides, we're inhaling, and as we exhale, just start to tuck the tailbone and peel off vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. Now, if you can come all the way up into a glute bridge where you've got that straight line between the knees and the shoulders, that's great. And then roll back down. If you can't lift off quite so far, that's also fine. But what you don't want to do, I'm going to show you what we don't want to do, is we don't want that where the ribs are popping and the bum is sagging. So you're better off doing a kind of modified or a lower level, high quality bridge than sort of trying to go for gold and it's like, you know, not a good one. Okay, and then come back. So how we engage, we gather up through the pelvic floor, we lengthen the spine, we get that curl, and we start to articulate. Okay, vertebra by vertebra. By the time we get to the top of the movement, the bum muscles, you should be very aware that those bum muscles are working. We haven't got our ribs hanging out, the core muscles are working, and then we come back down. Be careful of your knees, okay? So it's another red flag there. If your knee can't cope, don't come up so far. Good. Okay, give yourself a little tuck, give yourself a little cuddle, and now we're going to do the bridge, this variation. Okay, so we had our legs in this position a few exercises ago. You might need to shuffle your heels a little bit closer in. Our arms are down by our side, and we're going to inhale, and as you exhale, tilt the pelvis, and then just start to lift off in this slightly weird diamond leg shoulder bridge. Okay, you might feel a bit wibbly wobbly to start with because the feet are taking up much less of a surface area here. So it's a hip opener bridge. We'll do a couple more like that. If you like it, press pause and just, you know, do a few more. Getting the glutes working. Some people like this more than the standard bridge, and some people just find it's far too uncomfortable for them. So we've got choices, yeah? You can always modify it to suit. Sometimes, like, for whatever reason, we just can't do a particular exercise one day when we could do it perfectly well the day before. And that's just life. Okay, and we're going to tuck the knees into the chest, and we'll have a little rock from side to side. This is a really nice one just for kind of massaging out through the spine. And then we're going to bring one foot on the floor, and then the other leg goes up to the ceiling. Okay, so we want to activate this leg, this straight leg. So you're pressing the foot as if up to the ceiling, and you're drawing those abdominals in, And we're going to lower the foot with a flex, and we're going to draw the leg back with a point. So we're getting some nice leg muscle action. It's good for the joint of the ankle. Okay, so we're training the foot in flexion, which is this, dorsiflexion, and this is a point. Okay, so we've got the ankle joints working here. We'll come back here. Okay, and now let's circle. You might hear a few creaks and cracks. Change direction. And we want to go slow and big with the movement. So you really get that awareness of what's going on here. Okay, now keep your arms down by your side and use your strength to bring that leg towards you. Now if you're very tight, you might need to bend the knee, that's fine. Don't lift your bum off the floor. Okay, use your own strength. And now at the end of this movement, just use your hands either here or here, but not here. Okay, not behind the knee. Just give yourself a little assisted stretch. Nice. Shake it out. Okay, other side. So we're going to lengthen the leg up. We've got this nice active leg. So it's not just hanging there. We're creating some activation. We're pressing the foot up towards the ceiling. We're drawing those abdominals in. We've got the hip dropping into its socket here. And then as you exhale, you lower the leg with a flex. Sorry, this is your inhale. And as you exhale, point the foot and draw it back. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we're going to hold it here. Keep your arms on the floor and then just use, with your strength, with your own leg strength, bring that leg towards you. If you're really tight, soften the knee. You want to feel the stretch in the heft of the muscle, not where it attaches. Look out for any dodginess in the neck. Okay, and then once you've got as far as you can go working with your own strength, you're going to just give yourself a little assist. Okay, and let go. Use your own strength, and I forgot about these ones, so we're going to just circle the ankle a couple of times. Change direction, big and slow with the movements. You want that sensory feedback. Okay, you want to notice as well the difference between your lefts and your rights. Okay, both legs up in the air. We're going to shake everything out, and then we're going to roll onto our sides. No, we're not. Yes, we are. We're going to roll onto our sides. So, no, we're not. I've got very confused. We're going to come onto our backs again. So, we're going to do a bigger curl. Okay. So we're going to have our arms down by our sides, and we're going to tuck our chin into our chest, and this time we're going to imprint the spine as we curl up, okay? So we're going to inhale, and as you exhale, just reach through the air with your fingertips, and we're here. Okay, now you still want to get that engagement all the way up the spinal line. Hold it, and then inhale as you release, articulating back down. And we'll do that again. Inhale to prepare, exhale. Inhale as you release back down. Progression, okay? So you can bring one leg like so. Inhale, exhale. Inhale as you release back down. Swap it over. Exhale as you curl up. Inhale as you release back down. If you want, you can bring both legs up. Inhale to prepare, exhale. Inhale. So we've got lots of leg options. I'm going to give you one last leg option. This is super hard. Okay, inhale to prepare, exhale. Inhale. So do two more of your own choice. Okay, I'm going to stick with this. And one more, and then let that go. Lovely. Take a full body stretch, and then we're going to circle the arms. So we're going to do, with this arm circle exercise, We're not flopping, okay? We're going to keep the arms really strong, and the arm action actually comes from the back, and the back muscles are supported by the trunk muscles, supported by the core muscles. So remember, we've got that cylinder there, okay? So the whole trunk is working. So we're not going to be flopping the arms around. We want a lot more of an energetic movement here. So you can go with straight legs, okay, if you can control your core, if you can gather, okay. We want to scoop those abdominals. We don't want this with all the ribs popping and the gap in here, okay, that's nasty. We want to keep it very gathered. If that's not available to you, you can bend your knees, okay, this is a more secure position. So if you go for straight legs, zap your legs together, gather, zip up, and we're going to do some energetic circles for 4, 3, feel those abs working, 2, and 1. Great for the shoulder joints. Change for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here, bring one leg up, bring the other leg up. And then as we inhale, you're going to lower, you're going to toe tap your right toe, lower your right arm. As you exhale, come back. Other side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So it's called a bug, I think, this exercise. Inhale, exhale. If your back's hurting, a deeper imprint in the spine. Okay. Or just carry on with this if you like it. Otherwise, I'm going to show you an alternative. Lift and lower the legs like so. Okay, that's an alternative, so it's just, it will keep your back a little bit happier. Good. Give yourself a little shake, and then we're going to tuck, and we're going to roll into a sitting position. So back to your block if you need it. Okay, and we're going to sit. If you can sit with the cross-legged position, fine. If you need to do something like this, also fine. Okay, you want to be comfortable. And we're back into this position, and we're sitting with our straight spine again. So watch you're not slouching or slumping. So we're here, and then we're just going to tuck our chin in, and we're going to go ear to shoulder, and then go all the way round if you can. If you can, all the way round, right? If it feels horrible, just go roll the head from side to side. You might hear some strange noises, which is perfectly normal, but you don't want to be feeling pain, yeah? This is the neck here, we've got to be careful. Change direction. Okay, and come back to centre. So crown of the head is going up towards the ceiling, and just drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. So we're stretching out the side of the neck here. You can use your hand, just place it on, don't wrench or tug, just a little assist here, okay, just to deepen that stretch. Your other arm can reach away. You might want to pivot your head down. You might want to pivot your head up. Use your hand strength just to place your head back on top, and then the other side, so ear to shoulder. Just rest the hand on the head just for a little assist. Okay, you can reach away with the other arm. It just might intensify the stretch. It might make it feel better. If it makes it feel worse, then just place your hand back on your hip. Okay, you might want to pivot your head down. You might want to pivot your head up and then forwards, and then use your hand strength to place your head back on top. Roll out the shoulders, roll them out the other way, spread your wings, and palms together. Lovely. Thank you very much, everybody. Joint health today. So I hope that makes you feel sort of a bit more mobile, but sort of working the strength in at the same time. Okay, so thank you very much, and see you next time. Thank you.